And we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Let's go, D. Tight end Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Four down.
On first down, Breeze. And incomplete to open things up.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Ready.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 41's coming. 41's the mic.
Breeze going to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Double dog. That's the way.
11.
41's the mic.
Hey, easy.
Get that quarterback. And on.
Hey, wahoo.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Going up top. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 76 yards. And the Saints have taken the early lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money, because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
13. Here we go.
55, Mike, 55.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies...
Hey! High 7.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Kamara has it stripped, and the Texans scoop it. And some room to work. 20, 10, and they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Ready. 5-8. 5-8.
Right there in the middle.
Over.
I'm coming.
Here we go. 21. 21. Hey, exit.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Ready.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Breeze now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And now it's 2nd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Breeze. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 yards there, 1st down.
His 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn, still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
Check right. Watch it, 5.
They can't hang with us. Check the backer.
Protein spill.
Breeze now on 1st down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal.
3 down. Hey, 4-1 Mike. Ricky.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees, his 2nd touchdown pass here in the opening quarter of this game. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Miller looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Set. 19.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run. It's Miller. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Mario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a...
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Mario Davis able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Watson now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, 38 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that did.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. His 2nd sack of the night. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now Breeze. And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone, a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. This not the final game of this opening weekend. Still one more, and that comes your way later tonight out in Oakland. The Denver Broncos and Vic Fangio's coaching debut taking on the Oakland Raiders, the final home opener for the Silver and Black in the East Bay. A gain of 6 there on first. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Demario Davis there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, as some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A give, the first man through, Gillespie, the fullback. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
They're going for it. It's Watson. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. A first down carry now for Miller. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Set. 19.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Second and goal at the Saints 11-yard line.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Second down and goal. Watson. Touchdown, Texans. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy. The 25 at the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike.
Here we go.
After the sack on first down, Breeze. He's going to air one out. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. Thomas, the intended target.
when I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep third position and makes the interception.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's put the point down in front of him. We got to step it up.
After the interception, here's Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock. With 26 seconds to go until halftime. Watson now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans will add on to their lead. On for the PAT, Ka'imi Fairbairn. And that makes it a 9-point game.
Makes the score Texans 23, Saints 14.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for us.
And got his man complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Here we go. Hey, Alpha.
55, Mike, guys, 55.
Opposite.
From the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Watch the run. Mike 40
A final shot before half for Breeze. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. So we are at halftime in the first of 2 here on this opening Monday night of 2019. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. So after the INT, it's Breeze. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Go, Tap. Smooth.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Sammy.
You better bring it.
Throwing now is Breeze. And incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Easy.
55. Right there in the middle. 55. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Push him back. Push him back.
0-2.
55. No,
Shotgun now for Breeze. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Geno Atkins able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Carter. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
No time now.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, come on, Hey, switch gears.
29.
Watson now, operating from the gun. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A.J. Klein gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. I'll guarantee you Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Ready.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, orbit.
41's the Mike. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Mike 41. We've got to wedge that, huh?
53.
Put on offense. Let's go.
41 Mike.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Hey, Delta.
Breeze now on first down. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Crunch time, defense.
Now, Breeze again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but now it'll be third down.
And 6 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
41's the mic. 41's the mic.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Breeze to throw again. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Check 25.
Hey, kill. 5-9.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Breeze. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter play. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Got one.
Check one. Watch it, you cry.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch.
Hey, team 6.
Mike 5-5. Mike 55. Mike 5-5.
To throw is Breeze. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
11.
Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
13.
The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. And no, it's incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Mike, number 53. Mike 53. Keep it up, keep it up.
Watson on first down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Marcus Williams. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Drew Brees, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago, and that led the NFL. He'll try to deliver another one.
55, Mike, guys. 55.
Bravo.
In your face.
Throwing on first down is Brees. Looking long for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Thomas, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
Check. 50. 11. Get that ball.
Now Breeze. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 83 yards. And the Saints are back within a score. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And this is back to a 5-point game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he slings one that's incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, the deflection works both.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now Breeze. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
General West. 21.
Now Breeze. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
It's now 3rd and goal.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. 12.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. Fourth quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. They'll go for it. It's Brees. Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And once again, the Saints are back out in front.
Right there in the middle. 5-9.
Mike 55.
From the gun, it's Brees. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Let's go.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got Fuller. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Now Watson, and he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Demario Davis in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
Check 24. Check 24. Easy, opposite.
On second down, Kamara. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Brings up third down.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. 18 yards there and a first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Kill. Mike 55.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
You kill. Hey, easy. You kill.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3.
It's a party now. Shit.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Kill. Hey, turn it up. Under 10. Opposite.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Luck's good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
After the sack on 1st down, Watson. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. One last throw here for Watson, and that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long, and it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for the Saints, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new campaign 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Houston, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.